Hi everyone, I'm Cristina Radix.
Hi everyone, I'm Sergio Barrio Nuevo.
Hola a todos, soy Cristina Radix.
Hola a todos, soy Sergio Barrio Nuevo.
And we are 40 Quarantines. Y somos 40 Cuarentenas.
Este programa está patrocinado por Nordic Dental Center, tu clínica dental y estética de la Costa del Sol, y Loop by Cell, agencia de venta directa digital. Ayuda a digitalizar la captación de clientes y la puesta en marcha de nuevos negocios para que funcionen digitalmente. This program is sponsored by Nordic Dental Center, your dental and aesthetic clinic in Costa del Sol, and Loop by Cell, a digital direct sales agency. They help digitize customer acquisition and the startup of new businesses to make them work digitally.
Muy buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Cristina, te veo un poco cambiada hoy. ¿Dónde estás? No te reconozco esa vestimenta.
Sí, estoy en Indonesia.
Indonesia.
I wish.
Muy bonita camisa. La verdad es que como Gili está muy bien, ¿eh?
Yeah, for people who don't see me, I have this. I'm going all in today. I'm having this shirt with palm trees, with my smoothie and my glasses and my book. Because today we have a very special guest with us, and I will tell you a little bit how come we thought about having this guest today. A few years ago, I don't remember exactly when it started, but maybe it was because I saw the movie Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. Maybe I said it in the wrong. But something made me very attracted to Bali. Or Indonesia in general. I felt that I need to go to this place. It has a combination of different things that I love. I cannot surf, but I wish I could. But I like environment, yoga, the spiritual. I guess there are people in need, and I love doing volunteering, and that is something that I want to do more of in the future as soon as we can travel. And I just love it. On Instagram, I follow so many people who are showing things from Indonesia. That is one of my bucket list destinations, and one of my first destinations that I will go to as soon as I can. So today we have Joanna with us, who lives on one of the Gili Islands, and I have been following you for a pretty long time. I don't know exactly when it started, but I'm so impressed of all your aesthetic Instagram.
Oh.
It's so beautiful, and your whole way of showing what you work with. So please tell us about you, Joanna. How old are you? What's your name?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's such an honor. And of course, I would love to share, all of my experience here in Bali and as a digital nomad. And of course, hoping that by being on the show, I can inspire your audience to go out and explore Indonesia and maybe perhaps pursue their dream in one of those islands. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, a little bit about myself. So my name is Joanna. So I'm originally from China, and I moved to Canada when I was a teenager. So I pretty much spent my entire teenager years and also adulthood in Toronto, Canada. And so last year, before the whole pandemic happened, I decided to take a leap of faith and work remotely and travel, because I have been so passionate about living this freedom lifestyle where I can just go wherever I want, work whenever I want, and just not be limited to sitting in an office. the 9 to 5 lifestyle, it's just, I'm not cut for that. So I realized what I wanted to do. And one day I just told my boss, I was like, you know what, I really, really need to take this time off, not off, but I would love to work remotely for you. And then after a few negotiations, I got this opportunity to work remotely. And that's when I bought a one-way plane ticket and I just flew to Southeast Asia. Actually, my first destination was in Uzbekistan. I've never heard about that country before. Like 6 weeks before I've been there, and then I had like an amazing trip in Uzbekistan, and I went to Africa, and then I went to Southeast Asia because I heard a lot about Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, a lot of those places. I've never been to Southeast Asia before. So when I first got to Indonesia, Bali specifically, I just fell in love with this place. I knew that it has like, because the digital nomad scene is just so strong. Like I feel like I'm part of this huge remote work community. So this, like, I just fell in love with this place. Anyway, so that's like a little story about me. And I guess throughout this podcast, I can tell you more about my experience in Indonesia, or my experience as a digital nomad. So yeah, and I just actually turned 27 years old. So yeah, I mean, I guess, it's not too young, not too old. But for those younger listeners, I would say, if you are thinking about going remotely and going to travel, like, it's never too old or too young to do it, as long as this is what you wanted to do. And I guess that's on the nutshell of like who I am.
Yeah. Wow. How come you moved to the Gili Islands, or which one of the islands? Because there are 3, aren't there?
Yeah, so there are actually 3 Gili's Island. I'm in the smallest one. It's called Gili Air Island. So there's one called Gili T, and then the middle one is called Gili Meno, and then the last one is called Gili Air. So this one is closest to the bigger island. It's called Lombok Island. So for those of you who haven't heard of it, Lombok Island is kind of like Bali 50 years ago, actually 20 years ago. So you get everything that Bali can offer, but much cheaper. And in my opinion, the Lombok Island and the Gili Island has much better beaches than Bali, in my opinion. And a lot of people go to Gili specifically for surfing. So if you're a huge fan of surfing, you would love the beaches and the oceans in Lombok Island. So that's
I've heard that as well. I have heard that the beaches are much cleaner.
Yeah, much cleaner. Yeah,
that's nice. Well, Joanna, in my English from Spanish, typical. What you're working with, and what service do you offer?
Yeah, so I am a social media manager. So my job is really to manage other people, other business specifically, their social media presence. So I create content for their Instagram account, Facebook account, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, different kind of social media accounts. And so I work part-time remotely for an agency, but I also manage my freelance client social media account as well. And I recently started my own coaching business as well. It's called Social Nomads Academy. So this is a coaching program. It's a one-on-one coaching program where I teach other aspiring digital nomads becomes freelance social media managers, so that they can also live this freedom lifestyle where they can travel and work from anywhere. So it's a one-on-one 8 weeks coaching program.
Nice. Yeah. How come you started to work with this?
My business. How come I started my business? or like this career path in general.
In general, your business.
Yeah. So because when I was just a digital nomad and working remotely for clients, it was okay. Like, I was able to make a living, and I was able to afford traveling and all of that. But I realized that I wanted to do something that helped other people. And so fast forward, the pandemic happens, and I saw that a lot of people either lost their job, when they used to work in the traditional office job, they lost their job, or like there's just so many people looking for opportunity to earn money online. So I saw this opportunity where I was like, okay, you know what? I have the skills and the experience, and I'm living this lifestyle that a lot of people have dreamt of living. So why don't I create something that can help other people to achieve the same lifestyle that I have? And I love, and this fulfills me, and it's also great opportunity to help other people. So I that's why I started this business.
Oh, nice. I sorry for my English, but
It's okay.
is the beginning to want to improve my English. So
You're
sorry.
doing really well.
Yes,
You're doing really well. Like I said, I can't
yes.
speak Spanish, so I'm working.
In Spanish, I speak different. So I understand you. I work. I have an agency, marketing agency.
Nice.
I'm trafficker. So I understand you, but I would like to go to live there as well. So for the rest people, they are hearing us, nos están escuchando. What is the digital nomad? No sé si lo he dicho bien, Cristina, porque me lo produce, si quiere. ¿Sí? ¿Está bien dicho?
Yeah.
What is digital nomad? No,
What is digital nomad? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so digital nomad by definition is people that travel a lot and live in different places in the world while working online. So I think that is kind of like the official definition of digital nomad. So yeah, I'm kind of living like half digital. Like before pandemic, I was like a full digital nomad because I was going from one place to another like nonstop. But because of this current situation and with the restriction with traveling, I've been spending a lot of time in just one place, even though this is not my home. I still consider myself as a digital nomad because I'm not really like living at home right now. I'm still like outside kind of. I still have the opportunity to travel to different islands, even though it's not outside of Indonesia. But yeah, like I would say digital nomad, it's kind of like a lifestyle where people travel and live in different places very often while making a living online. So.
Nice.
When do you think this started with digital nomad? How long has?
I think it started like a long time. Like I mean, definitely like the past 6-7 years, it started to become really popular. I'm kind of late into the game because I guess it's also because I was in school and I wasn't really, I was just focused on, graduating from university and all that. So I haven't really thought about doing this kind of thing when I was in school. And after I graduated, after I graduated and after I got my first 9-to-5 office job, I realized how this corporate lifestyle was not for me. That's when I started looking into going this digital nomad lifestyle. But I think in general, people started experimenting this kind of lifestyle like maybe like 6-7 years ago, and it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I think with the pandemic, a lot of people started to look into this lifestyle more and more because of people working from home now, and they realize that there are a lot of opportunity to actually turn their office job into a work from home situation. So there's really I think in the future or like in next year or the next couple of years, it's going to be a big shift. A lot of office space will not even be in demand anymore, and people like a lot of business. I predict that a lot of business will actually cut down the cost, the office rental cost, and allowing their employees to work at home. And because of that, those people who are able to work from home, they can just become like quote unquote digital nomad. So it's gonna be a big shift in the future.
Yeah, except of dentists. Dentists have to be
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking about office jobs. So that include like all the healthcare worker. I mean, I really appreciate you, like all the healthcare worker, like what you guys are doing. Like it's but it's just
Bueno,
it's harder to go remote.
Cristina, lo digo en español y tú lo traduces. Que te lleva el alicate, lo típico para sacar la muela, cuatro
You
cosas.
can do it on Zoom.
I
En un maletín.
market.
But you guys are earning a lot of money. I know dentists actually earn a lot of money in Canada, or like any other part in the world. Actually, it's a very high-paying job. So there's a trade-off.
but I really enjoy traveling a lot, and with volunteering as well, it feels like I feel like I want to give back to the world. So I want to find a combination in the future. To be able to travel and be able to help people that I can help, and in the same time have my clinic. So I will try to find a way to be traveling, hopefully. I'm surprised, and I'm really happy that young people today start to feel and start to follow their dreams earlier, because when I was young, it sounds like that's typical when I was young, but it's like we were so into, we just accept the 9 to 5, and it's not until maybe you get what Sergio and I was speaking, when you become 40, you start to think, what do I really want? What am I missing something? But today it happens earlier. Maybe it's because of the social media that you see different ways of living, and you're like, I want to live like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree with you. I really think that social media plays a huge role in influencing how people think and people behave, and specifically, especially with Instagram, when you see like people get to live in like really expensive villa for free, because they're taking photos and everything. And it really started to open up this door and opportunity for people to really rethink about how you can actually live. The gones are the day that you can only make money working from a 9 to 5 office job, but there's so many other opportunities that you can actually make a living from just working online. So once you crack the code of how to make a living virtually or online, there's really no limit for you to be in a specific place. And thanks to the advance of technology and social media, because I work in this industry, I know that there's just so many ways that people can make a living online. You can be an influencer, you can be a social media manager, you can be there's so many ways, like I said, that you can make money online. So that's why, especially a lot of people that are like younger people, because they use social media a lot, and that's why it's like so easily to be influenced by what you're seeing online. That that person, it's like an influencer, and they can like just go to Indonesia anytime and get paid doing this and that. Like that's why like a lot of young people started to look into this lifestyle. So yeah.
What is your recommendation for a person who wants to have this kind of lifestyle? How much money do they have to? What do they have to do before they just go somewhere? Because you have to know that you have to have some kind of amount of money and
how much money you actually need to live this kind of lifestyle. So I just want to start off very broadly by saying it really depending on your personal preference. There's no one size fits all answer to this. If you're the type of person who prefers to live in a very expensive villa and prefers to eat out every single day, then your expense is going to be much higher than someone who just, who doesn't mind living in a less expensive place and likes to, probably like cook every single day. Like, it really depending on your lifestyle choices. But in general speaking, I would say, and also depending on which country you are currently staying at. So, for example, in general, countries in Southeast Asia are generally much more affordable to live in. So, for example, in my case right now, no, also depending on what's currently going on in the world, because right now, because of the pandemic, the places that I'm staying at it's just like the price is insanely low, and you wouldn't be able to find this kind of villa with this price in a normal season. So there are a lot of factors that plays into how much money in general you need per month to live as a digital nomad. But let me just give you an example of my current situation, how much money I kind of spend on a monthly basis to be able to live comfortably on a holiday island, the Gili Air island. So right now, because of the pandemic and there's no demand for tourism, that's why a lot of places are super affordable. So for example, this villa that I'm staying at, the monthly rent is only 7 million rupiah, which is roughly 650 US dollars a month, which is really cheap. And this is a 3-room villa with a huge swimming pool and a huge outdoor kitchen, and they're and there's staff coming in to clean every week. Although it doesn't include like water, or like it doesn't include drinking water or electricity or internet, but these things are very cheap in Indonesia. Like you can get, like for example, for a 50 gigabyte of internet plan, it only costs about like 15 like US dollars. And then also like the food here on this island or in Indonesia in general is super cheap as well. Like in general, like maybe one meal per person, it's about like 30,000 rupiah, which is about like two and a half US dollars, one meal per person. So like it's super cheap and affordable. And of course, because of the pandemic situation, everything has just become even cheaper. Like it's already cheap to begin with, but now it's just like even cheaper. But I would say like if you are able to earn money online, and if you're living in affordable countries like Indonesia, like I would suggest to maybe have roughly like 1,000 on the low end, like 1,200 USD a month, so that you can cover your rent and your living expenses like food and like other like internet and stuff like that, to be tight, right? Like to be tight. But if you want to have, like, if you want to save extra, like for like emergency, or for if you want to buy plane ticket because you're traveling often, like I would do like roughly $1,500 to $2,000, then you can live very comfortably in Southeast Asia. And of course, I've never really lived in Europe before, so I would assume that the expense will be much higher. So I can't really speak for the digital nomad. If someone wants to be a digital nomad and start up in Europe, then I cannot really speak for those group of people, but I can only speak for people who are interested in becoming a digital nomad in Southeast Asia. So I would say on the lower end, I make at least $1,200 on the low, and then high would be like $2,000. Then you will be able to live comfortably. And of course, if you have like an online business, or if you do other business, like you might be able to live on a very high budget as well. So in general, if you're a student, definitely, like I would say that range that I just suggested would be reasonable.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Do you live in the same place for a certain amount of time, or you don't plan? Or
I don't plan. You ask me in 2 weeks, I'm probably in a different place. That's the beauty of living this lifestyle. Is just you have a complete freedom of where you want to be. I mean, right now it's harder because of the travel restriction, but in general, you just like, if the country's open, if I want to go to Thailand next week, I can go. Like, that's the beauty of it. You're not in any sort of control or restriction of what you wanted to do. So
how does this closing affect the people there? Because they live on tourism.
yeah, it has been very, very hard, to be honest with you. And I can tell that because of this specific place that I'm staying at, it's just, I would say like 80-90% of the local residents, local people are heavily relying on tourists. And it's just very unfortunate that they all lost their jobs. So just give you a very like recent example. I was living in another villa, very, very nice villa. And they were, they were able to operate even up to like last month. Anyways, the point is they closed their villa because they can't really afford having guests and staying there, like, because there were only like 2 guests. Actually, another guest there. It's a family, and they're also from Spain. Anyway, so it's just two villa. They were able to just open 2 villa because there are no other guests coming in. So, anyways, they have to close their business because it doesn't make sense for their finance. And right after they closed it, they have to fire everyone that worked at that villa before. So these are all local people, and because of that, they all lost their jobs. And you can't do anything because there's just no tourists coming in, and it's just very.
Were closed in the beginning of this pandemic, wasn't it? Already in March.
They were, yeah. So the island closed around like towards the end of March. That's when they announced that okay, we're gonna close the island. No more tourists can come in. They closed it from like March to June, and then I think beginning of June they started to let people from Bali to come in, but you still need to get like you need to get the test, the coronavirus test, and you have to show that you're negative or something to come into the island. So even now, like it's still the same. Like Indonesian is still closed, and it will remain closed until who knows when. So it's only domestic tourists can travel back and forth. Yeah. So
they haven't set a date yet. No.
They haven't set a date. I think what I heard is that they will follow kind of what Australia is doing right now, because Australia said that they will, because most of the tourists in Bali are actually Australian people. Like half of Bali is actually Australian people, so it makes more sense for them to open when Australia is open. So yeah.
How does a normal day look like for you?
Now,
when do you wake up?
Okay, a little bit embarrassed. Like recently, for the past 2 weeks, I've been waking up really late, like around like 10 o'clock, because I worked until
wake up whenever you want. That's
that's true. But I try to, I'm an aspiring morning person, but it's so hard for me to be a morning person because I work until really late. So I usually work until like 12, sometimes past midnight, or like 1 o'clock, or like I stay up. Like sometimes I don't work, I just stay up. Like for some reason, like I just stay up. So it's really hard for me to wake up like early. But you know what? Like you said, like it's not like I have a 9 to 5 job to attend to. So for me, it's fine. Like if I wake up one day very, very late, and I would just make up, I would just like stay up a bit later, or depending on like how much like I want to get done for that day. And because right now I'm in the middle of starting a business, so like right now I have been just working a lot, but before when I was traveling a lot, beginning of this year and also last year, like I was not working as much because I was putting a lot of focus on just checking out different places and making sure that I could visit as many places as possible. So my lifestyle changed every single day is different. It really depends on how much I want to get done that day, or like it depends on the depending on how much, like what I want to do, really, basically. Yeah.
That is freedom. That is freedom to choose.
Yeah.
And choose when you go to bed.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Cristina Nomad. Cristina Nomad. It's coming.
But I gotta say, like, it looks very glamorous on the surface, but honestly, I just have to put it out there for people who wanted to, you know, live this lifestyle. You are not a backpacker, you're a digital nomad. That means, you know, you gotta constantly make constantly make money, right? So if you don't work, you don't make money, and if you don't make money, you can't support this lifestyle. So then that means you have to go home, right? So it really you have to. I work a lot, so I'm not gonna lie that every single day I go to the beach and lay on the beach and that's it. That's my day. That's not the reality. I actually work a lot so that I can afford this lifestyle, and I wouldn't do anything other anything. I mean, I wouldn't trade this for anything I sign up for. And even though I realize that I probably work a lot, but it's worth it.
Yeah. But that is very important to always remind us that when we see something on Instagram and social media, I mean, there is work behind. Sometimes I have put like dancing post or DJing post, and then some people think, aren't she working? Of course I'm working. The whole day I'm working. I'm doing those things. A few hours I have left over, but I mean, people are afraid of going to the dentist. They don't want to see us sitting there. It's not so funny, maybe. So that's why I try to make it funny, but it doesn't mean that I'm always there. But it's so easy that we think that that person is there on that spot the whole time. But that's like one moment, and we have to work hard. Most of us, we have to work hard to get to achieve what we want. So it's important to be realistic. Mm-hmm. So, do you have any dentist on Gili Air?
Good question. Good question.
I was Googling it, and on one of the islands, I could see like there were 3 medical centers and 1 dentist.
Yeah.
But I don't know on Gili Air. Now I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking in general the people who have pain. Where do you go?
Honestly, I haven't seen a dentist, like a dentist place in Gili Air. I don't know about the other 2 Gili Islands. I'm pretty sure there's one in Lombok because it's a much bigger island, and also in Bali as well. But I don't think there's one. And in general, like I would say, because it's such a small island and there's not a lot of people living here, so like there's like this tiny pharmacy with like not a lot of medical like things in there. Like it's just very, very tiny. And there's like 1 medical center with like very tiny as well. So definitely I haven't came across a dentist center in Gili Air. So maybe there's an opportunity for you.
I have to have patience as well. So how many people are there?
La estoy viendo.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but last time I heard there was only like 700 people living here. I don't know. I haven't really checked. I have to do my fact check, but less than 1,000 for sure.
But how big is the island? If you walk around the island,
it's very tiny. Like if you walk probably an hour, you can finish the island. But if you just like you bicycle, like 15-20 minutes, you're done 1 round.
Oh.
It's so tiny here.
I do every day 1 hour running. So
okay, then you can circle the entire island.
It's like a Benalmádena. So I think 1 hour is almost 11 kilometers, no? Something like that.
Yeah.
No.
1 hour running?
Oh, cool.
It's almost it's more than 10 kilometers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about the size here.
But yeah, I read a little bit about that there are beaches that have a lot of garbages. Where do they come from? If we speak a little bit about the environment. And
Yeah,
things.
I'm really happy that you brought up this question because a lot of people came here. Of course, it's a holiday island and there are a lot of amazing resorts and stuff like that. But if you go to places like the harbor area or like the very places that are not usually where tourist people live, usually like where the local people live, there are a lot of garbages, and I would say like there are a lot of garbages on the beach as well, depending on which beach you go to. But usually where I would say like near the harbor area, there are so many garbages and plastics and straws laying around. I think I have a suspicion that these garbage are coming from the ocean. So I heard that the way that I don't want to blame anyone, but I heard that they usually dispose the garbage in the ocean, and because of that, like the garbage coming back to the island with the current and the wave. So I've done like a couple of times like picking up garbage on the beach because there I think once a month there's like a volunteer kind of like beach cleaning day every month or something like that.
Something like that on Instagram.
Yeah, so I just thought that, like since I lived on this island so long, just do something to give back. So yeah, one day I just went out with like a group of people who organized this and just clean up. I think we had like, almost like 10 big garbage bag we collected in just like 20 minutes. It was just so many garbage. And like the next day I walked by the same area, the garbage came back. It's just like it's never ended. It's really, really sad. And honestly, when I say this, I don't mean to blame I don't want to make this a too political thing, but I just, as a foreigner or as a tourist living on this island, I feel like, as a tourist, we should do our part to try to minimize our footprint, minimize our plastic use, and, when you go shopping, just bring your own bag, and so that you really can make a difference. And also, I think for local people as well, I really think that they should implement some sort of education system that can help the local residents aware that maybe use less plastic and stuff like that. So I feel like both tourists and the local community should work together to maybe make a better environment for this island. It's just really, really sad to see that there are so many garbage laying around.
Yeah, that is a big part, and then they have to find a way how to eliminate the garbages, because if you help everybody to put it in one place, but then you throw it in the ocean, it will just come back. So we have that, and animals will die, and
exactly.
I saw last year I was in Senegal, and I saw the same thing. It was this beautiful. I looked forward to go to the beach because we had been working on this volunteer project, and we were like, the weekend will come, we will go to the beach. I was walking there, excited, and when I came there, it was like, whoa, these beautiful palm trees, this tropical, amazing beach, but with so many garbages. I took a photo. It was like two great contrast, and it was horrible to see, and everywhere around the country you could see that garbages was just in these piles.
And
then they started to burn it to try to take it away.
Burning is another huge problem in this island. So it's kind of like burning garbages or plastics or leaves is kind of a major way for the local people to get rid of any debris or get rid of any garbage or plastic by burning them. And because of burning, it's this crazy smoke like everywhere on this island, like a different time of the day, and it's like I really didn't feel well when I walk around like areas when they burn, because it's just when you breathe in those air, it's just really bad for your lungs, and it's just really bad for the air in general. So first of all, they really need to eliminate the uses of plastic, and they need to have a better way of getting rid of garbage, and they should really have another way to educate people to how to eliminate garbage instead of burning them. So yeah, it's
in Senegal, where somewhere when we were sitting, we see on the television that they had videos where to throw their garbages. So
that's good. Yeah. I feel like they should have something like that here as well. Yeah. And honestly, I don't want to ruin anyone's fantasy to Bali, but I've seen beaches in the south of Bali filled with garbage. It's so bad. Like it just, there's nothing, like you can't even walk on the beach because there are just so many garbages laying around. And it's the sad thing is nobody's doing anything about it. Like
it's really for me, maybe I'm naive, but it's like, what is the problem? The human being have been on the moon. We can accomplish so many things. They can't say that they can't accomplish.
I know, it's so sad. Yeah,
it's political, probably.
I know. There's I've seen this not meme, or what kind of a meme on the internet, and it says why are we spending billions of money trying to find another planet to live in when we can invest that money to make a better planet Earth so that we can live here. Like what a awakening statement that is, right? I was like, wow, that is so true. Why are we looking to move somewhere else when we can just work on making a better home for ourselves here?
It's like we're giving up. It's like, okay, now we have ruined this planet. Let's go for the next.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's crazy. But but those things in the same way, it inspires me. Like there are so many things to do on this earth.
Yeah.
And let's start to be conscious, and let's start to give back and not think about only what we want. And
yeah, definitely. And I think that's one thing that I learned when traveling to other places and experience other culture is it really opened up your eyes to see how other people live and what are some of the issues in those countries, and not just confining ourselves in the box in a very familiar environment. It's like, oh, you know what, I'm in my comfort zone, everything is fine. But if you travel to other places, you're really stepping out of your comfort zone and see that there are like a lot of problems elsewhere that you can't even imagine. And if there's any opportunity, you can do something about it. So
and that is really, for me, that is real happiness, because material things makes us happy, but it is like during a certain time. You give back, and when you see somebody, like the weeks we were in Senegal helping, it's a whole other level of happiness when you help people that don't expect it and they don't have anybody else. So that is really thoughts that are coming back to me all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the more, but it's like, sometimes it's like it's bad speaking about money, but the more money you can earn, the more people you can help.
Yeah, it's kind of a paradox.
So that is also power. So because for me, it has always been like, I don't want to speak about money, but the older I get, it's like, no, Christina, the more money I can do, the more people I can help, I can give back, I can travel, I can...
I agree. Yeah.
So what our final question then comes to, and that is Sergio's question.
Okay. What do you like to recommend someone who want to work as a digital nomad to do right now?
Yeah. So if you asked me this question before pandemic, it would be a different answer.
Yeah.
But right now it's kind of, it's a similar but different situation now. But first of all, if you, like I said, digital nomads of lifestyle, it's not like you pack your backpack and you go travel for a year and then you come back home and figure out your life. It's not. It's like I see it as a long-term thing, as a lifestyle where you actually live this and you need to, somehow find different ways to support your travel so that you can make this into a long-term thing. So first of all, if you are looking into becoming a digital nomad or trying to gain more information about this lifestyle, just know that use this opportunity right now when we couldn't really travel much to maybe learn skills to work online so that you can, when you're ready, you have the means, you have the finance to support yourself to travel. Like I said, it's a lifestyle thing. It's not like a one-time thing and you go back home. So really, if you are interested in social media management or doing social media, then maybe take a course or find a mentor to really learn about these things that you can support yourself and earn money online. I mean, if you wanted to teach English or you teach other languages online, you can also do that. Maybe start doing it now. So the point is, whatever that you wanted to do, just start doing it right now. Take action right now. Don't wait until the pandemic's over, then you start thinking about, maybe it's time for me to travel. Then it's too late, right? I feel like now is the perfect time because everybody's staying at home. Perhaps you're working from home right now, perhaps you lost your job, or maybe you can't travel because of restriction. Then use this time right now to really sharpen your skills or learn new skills to find different ways to earn money online, so that when the travel industry goes back to normal, then you're ready. You're the first one to go, and you know what, I can live this lifestyle because I can support myself by working remotely and I'm ready. Or you can also start doing some research on what countries are open right now, because I know that countries are start opening up their border, and there are a lot of countries are already open for people to visit. So do some research on different countries that you can visit right now. Then maybe try it out for a month or two just to see if this lifestyle is for you, because I know that this lifestyle is not for everybody. Some people love it, some people hate it. After a year, they hate it. So you would just have to try it out before you can judge it. So, but for those of you who are really, really eager to start this journey, start now. Do your research. Find the skills.
And that's so inspiring to hear. I remember when the lockdown came in Spain in March. For me, it was a shock because I think I couldn't see this coming. This is still surrealistic for me, but after so long time. But especially in March, I was just working, and my husband started just to buy food and fill our garage with food and everything. And I was if it wouldn't be for him, I would not have any food when it started, because I couldn't eat that. For me, it was until the last day. I thought we were just going to continue working, because I had been working during all these years and almost never being home. So. For me, of course, the day we had to cancel all the patients, I tried to be strong in front of everybody at the clinic. But when I sat down in the car, I just broke down and cried.
Oh.
And then a few days after, I listened to a dentist who, Christian Coachman. He has a big company all around the world about digital smile design, and the inspiring words he was saying really changed my whole mindset, and I felt so inspired. And I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity. And we built up our website, the clinic website, that I did things that I hadn't had time to do before. I didn't train. I was not. I was not the. Some people said that they cleaned their whole house, trained. They got muscles. I didn't. I found myself very inspired and creative. Instead. So I made videos, motivational videos.
Nice.
But I think it came thanks to listening to that hour when he was speaking. And I said to my husband, you have to listen, and my daughter, you have to listen to what he's saying, because he was saying that often when there is chaos, things change and things will be put in place, and if you take the action now, you will be ahead, you will move forward. But the people that won't take action will come to another position. So it will change a lot, and it will be depending of your attitude. So
yes, of course,
En español es, allí puse concretamente la frase que para la adaptación, ahora lo traduzco, para la adaptación al cambio es necesario la proactividad, no la pasividad, sino que te tienes que mover, no somos una planta.
The adaptation to la adaptación para. I wouldn't be a good translator. I forget the words when I come to this.
La adaptación al cambio, adaptarte al cambio,
to a change,
es necesario la proactividad, o sea, la acción propia, porque no somos una planta.
Yeah, because we're not a plant. Yeah, exactly. That is, but I guess right now it's like the only option we have. We have to be happy. First of all, we have to have this happy mindset and look forward to our goals, our dreams, and if not, I mean, it could lead to depression and feeling bad. So that is the only option for now. And
for that this podcast born. No?
Yeah, that is how it was born.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was just walking. Sergio and I, we were just Instagram friends, and one morning I was walking on the beach, and I just made an audio about it. Your life is your movie, and you have the role, the main character, and you can choose your life, and don't let other people affect you or what happens around you. And Sergio wrote to me. He said, "Oh, you inspired me. I want to go back and start continue my podcast that I was doing before, and maybe you could join me." We started like that.
Nice.
I've never done a podcast before, and
that's amazing. Yeah, you see, like
2-3 weeks ago.
Opportunity just come to you sometimes, like and you gotta be ready for it. But I guess you're ready. You know, you have the right mindset, you have the attitude, and you welcome these opportunities into your life, and then it will become a better thing.
Yes. Thank you very much. First of all, we have to tell our listeners how they can find you.
Oh, yes. So I'm really active on social media, of course. So you can find me on my Instagram, which is joannayoung.co. By the way, I believe you will also put the handles and everything in the description.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at joannayoung.co, and I'm also on YouTube. You can search me by my name, Joanna Yung. And I also have a Facebook business page. It is joannayoung.co. So my website is coming up very, very soon. So if can I do a little plug here? So if any of you thinking about pursuing digital nomad, I think, and if you're interested in social media marketing, so I'm starting a very interesting social media freelance social media coaching program. So for those of you who are interested in becoming a freelance social media manager, so that you can travel and work from anywhere, definitely check out my website, which is www.joannayoung.com. It will come live very soon, or just DM me on social media, on Instagram, and I will tell you more about the program.
Wow.
Thank you. I really recommend everybody to visit, because Joanna's, everything you do is so beautiful. From Instagram to even the newsletter, it's like it's like a cookie. It's like you. Oh, it's so beautiful. And colors, the photos, the way the layout, the text is really your inspiration, and you have found your thing.
Thank you so much. I'm so flattered. By the way, before we go, can I just do like a little Instagram story with you guys? I'm just gonna like have my phone here. Okay. Let's take a photo first. Wait.
Okay.
Lighting is terrible. Hold on a second. I'm just let me go out. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Okay. I hope this is better. Wait.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Maybe here. Oh, this is my villa, by the way.
Wow.
Alright. Oh, is that okay? Sorry, be patient a little.
Okay, right.
All right, and then I'm just gonna do a quick video.
Okay. Hello from Spain. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hey guys, so I just finished a very lovely podcast episode with my friend here. So they're from Spain, and can you tell them the name of your podcast?
Yes.
Christina.
Yeah, it's 40 quarantines, 40 cuarentenas in Spanish.
So the episode will come out. Yeah, that's Christina. So the episode will come out very soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned. It's a very interesting one. And I hope you guys have a good day. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Sorry, that was a very. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Awesome.
We will put all the information for all of our listeners, so they can follow you straight away.
Christina, write the copy. Cookie.
Thank you very much, Joanna.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry?
Which is your next destination?
Oh, so
When
I
the
think
borders open.
I mean, I would definitely love to explore Indonesia a little bit more. So I think next month I'll probably go to the neighbor island, which is Lombok Island, and stay there for a little longer. But I really love my time here in Gili Air. Like, it's such an amazing place. So I'm not ready to say goodbye yet, but I mean, I would also love to explore other places. So, I would start with like the Lombok Island, and then maybe venture out to other places. Who knows? But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated, or follow me on Instagram, then you will know.
Yeah. How long time have you been there now?
In Gili Air?
Here.
Oh, since March. So it's been like, wow. It's been, I don't know. It's been a long time.
But it's so small. Do you have some place you can go out, cafeterias, and yeah?
So when the lockdown happened, like literally almost all the restaurants were closed. So it was literally like a ghost island for from like March to June, and then after June, like the other places start to open, but now it's still like pretty much like 70% of places still closed until today. But there are some cafes there's like one cafe that has like AC inside, like aircon inside. But there are like some restaurants that you can go out to, but mostly just like, you know, beaches and palm trees, and villa. So yeah, it's not like you're living in a city where you can go to the mall or anything, but there are like, in general, there are different, like just different restaurants or like beach track that you can visit, and then there's some cafes. So
yeah, perfect.
Thank
you very much, and have a lovely weekend, and we keep in contact.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here. Bye guys.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Este programa está patrocinado por Nordic Dental Center, tu clínica dental y estética de la Costa del Sol, y Loop by Cell, agencia de venta directa digital. Ayuda a digitalizar la captación de clientes y la puesta en marcha de nuevos negocios para que funcionen digitalmente. This program is sponsored by Nordic Dental Center, your dental and aesthetic clinic in Costa del Sol, and Loop by Cell, a digital direct sales agency. They help digitize customer acquisition and the startup of new businesses to make them work digitally.